It was right before midnight, and I got up to the room and I seen Ridge's name wrote on the board, but nobody was in the room, and I'm thinking, where is my son?
You know, the room kind of shrinks and sound goes away, and the nauseating smell of the hospital becomes real, and life as you know it is different.
I totally hit a dead end. Right away, just felt alone. Even with my husband being there right by my side, everybody had totally disappeared.
A couple minutes later, just my husband walks in the room, couldn't control himself, and I'm starting to get nervous now, and I'm like, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. And eventually he whispers the word leukemia to me.
I had no voice at all. I couldn't speak to the nurses, the doctors.
I just remember thinking, please, God, no.
Life before Javin being diagnosed was great. Javin was the quarterback of his team, and he played hard, you know. He's one that's 7 years old, but he has a six-pack because he loves to lift weights along with Dad and the other brothers.
Our family life was like every other family who had active kids. Ridge played baseball, soccer, volleyball, football. It was hard for us to all even sit down and have dinner together because somebody would have practice at this hour, and by the time they would get home, the next kid was already going off to the next practice.
Cooper, from the very beginning, was just this kid that was like nonstop and not afraid of anything. Like, I think at like 3 or 4, he picked up a skateboard and dropped into like a half pipe, and we were just kind of blown away by it. He wasn't afraid at all about anything, and he was just kind of a go for it kind of kid.
Our new normal is going by a calendar that was given to us by Phoenix Children's Hospital, our clinic. Each Monday we're there at the clinic for counts and to be sure that Javin is on point.
Our normal now is up one day and down the next. And it's not just me. It's my husband. He's on the same roller coaster, but in a different car.
As a family, our new normal looks a bit different than what we imagined it to be when we first started treatment. Right now, he still has to go back every month, and he has to get phlebotomized, and you know, we're still wrestling through liver things, but the hospital and all of that is still a huge part of our life.
We both have been volunteering with Children's Cancer Network, and we've been helping other families. You feel that camaraderie, and you go, I'm really not completely crazy, just a little bit crazy. And somebody else there feels the same thing. And it makes you feel a little bit normal, because there really is no new normal, because it's not normal. It's not normal for a parent to bury their child because of cancer.
Children's Cancer Network has been a part of our story, you know, from the first day we were diagnosed.
They come to the hospital and have just like a group meeting almost with the parents that are there admitted with their children.
The doctors and the nurses are great, but they're focused on the patient and the patient only, and that's how you want it to be. But you still have to deal, and you don't know how. So to have somebody there that's walked that walk is, you just can't replace that.
And it's little things like, you know, gas cards and meal cards, and which actually are kind of big things when you're a family just trying to wrestle through this whole thing and try to figure out how do you deal with a kid with cancer, and how do you deal with a family that's in the midst of chaos.
I can honestly say that my children would not have had a Christmas if it wasn't for CCN. They put a Christmas together for my children, a party together for them to actually enjoy.
We still have hope. We are still in the fight. I believe that they are working hard to put an end to childhood cancer, and they help us to keep Ridge's legacy alive by doing those things.
Children's Cancer Network is just a beautiful organization, and I've really truly come to understand that it's a legacy organization. That they meet families at every part of the journey, both in really small things and really large things. Say for Javin, he's 6 months into treatment, and they're meeting those needs for them while they're wrestling through treatment. And for our family that's post-treatment, that and they're caring for us, and for Ridge, who passed away, and they're helping them in that moment in their life, and they're caring for each one of these kids and each one of these families at every part of their journey, and they will continue to do that for kids in the future. But they're also honoring the journeys of all the kids that came before them. They're standing in the gap and saying, we're fighting for you if it happened to you in the past, and fighting for you if it's going to happen in the future. We're standing in the gap for you. And I think that's pretty amazing.
My name is Dina. My son is Javin. Javin was diagnosed with leukemia, Philadelphia chromosome positive. He was diagnosed on June 13th, 2015. We actually have 3 more years left of treatment. And hopefully then it'll be all done.
Anyways, Jeff, our son Cooper, was diagnosed with leukemia on March 30th, 2012. In July 18th, 2015, he ended his treatment and is now cancer-free.
My name is Brenda, and my son Ridge was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia on July 24th, 2014, and he took his last breath on this earth on April 4th, 2015. But his legacy still lives on with me, my family, his friends, through our community, and through Children's Cancer Network.